Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. I'm Ben. Welcome Thursday night. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you coming back. I know that I had suggested, hello Brad, how are you? That I get back into doing some of the other design stuff, like the Terratron stuff that I was looking at. I'm just not feeling that still. But what I am feeling is more Horizon machines, and I'm very excited to be working on these right now, so that's what I'm going to do. So I think the next one I want to do is going to be a lance horn. The only reason I want to do this instead of a grazer is that I know that Synthetic Mason has done a grazer, and I'm probably going to use... I might build based off his design. There's no way to improve that, but I also don't want to look at it too much, and I want to try my hand at this and see what we can do with it. And because the lance horn and the grazer are fairly similar animals, if you were to look at them. Thank you, Brad. I appreciate that. I think they're coming along great. In fact, I was going to show you that's the problem I was running into with this. It's like I put up an image and it's either a Lego build or it's a dummy. Like there's no in between here. A dummy meaning there's a training dummy in the game. See, this says it's... Why can't I show? There we go. Okay. So this is a pretty good image of the grazer, and you can see the lance horn. They're fairly similar. They've got 4 canisters on the back. They've got kind of these spindly legs. They both look like elk. I don't know what the size difference is. These are both resource gathering machines, and what's up, Stud Sidious? And they're both resource gathering machines, and when you stumble upon them, they're kind of digging in the earth. These have got these twisty drill bits, and these have got these rotating things on their horns. Their faces are even kind of similar. They've got these things hanging down from them, from their jowls. This one has been overridden. That's why it has the blue kind of tubing on it. This one has not been overridden. Here's one that hasn't been overridden for a lance horn too. The necks are slightly different from the looks of it. This one has more like a single kind of bit of machinery, and then it's got these 2 kind of chains or almost like braces of metal links down the sides. It looks like the coverage on some of the plating is different. It's darker compared to here. This has a lot more plating on it. It's a little more heavy duty and has this section of plates on the neck. So they are different. I don't think Mayo is here yet. I have not seen him. So we're going to hold off on the grazer for now, and we're going to do the lance horn. Now the lance horn, from what I can see... so let's look at real quick. So this is the this is where I've got with the what is this guy? The shell walker. And I've got hands for him too. So this hand goes over on this side, right? And then this hand goes over on this side. And this hand is basically, it shoots energy projections, and then it kind of opens up and creates a shield. I wasn't able to really figure out how to do the shield, but if anybody wants to figure out how to do that. And then this side opens up. It's supposed to be a box loader. Oop. Where'd that go? Oh. This may need to be a longer pin. So this is the wrist. It goes on the back there with the ball. And then this just is like a big claw that opens up. That's the best I could do it. I think it works. I'm waiting on all different color pieces for this. Obviously, it's supposed to be orange, all orange, so I'm just waiting for orange plates. And oddly enough, didn't have any orange round bricks. I thought it was weird. I was like, really? I don't have any of those? So these are supposed to be, yeah, I'm going to have to get a 3. I think that's going to have to be a different one because I think this one falls off easily too. How are you going to display them? Probably the same way as I do this. I'm just going to build little vignettes for all of them. But for a couple, I'll probably do like, what I may end up doing is until I get a good world, because I'm going to include the tall neck. I'll just put the tall neck on one side and then have all the other animals. But they'll all be on like vignettes like this somehow. Slightly bigger maybe. This was part of our lug build where I included bamboo so she could hide behind it, so she was standing over here. But that's a scrapper. And then to make a scrounger, you basically, it's the same body, you just change a couple things around it because they're the same thing. So they'll all look like this. This is kind of how the long neck thing was, where it had like a border around it and then kind of bricks. I'm building one for the Thunderjaw right now, but it's just basically a plate. And I'm going to border the plate with tile and then build up so it looks like rocky. So the Thunderjaw is kind of on top of like this rocky shelf, so it looks even more imposing than it is. And then this guy, the Strider. The good thing about some of these builds is like the Strider and the Charger are virtually the same animal. The Scrounger and the Scrapper are virtually the same animal. So once you've built one, you can build both of them. The horns on the Charger are rounded. They're these big round things, so it's more like a ram than it is a horse. And then you can just kind of change the coloring on some of these. So I'm still waiting for pieces on this. Like I wanted to get these in orange. I wanted different sloped wedge things here. I want this thing to be, this harness to be in black. And hopefully not as already kind of pinched into where it's supposed to be. But I think that harness is a really good look for there. And then it's held together under there with a hinge. So I like that. How much would you say it would cost for one of these? So I just parted out. Like, that's a good question. Let's look, because I have them all parted out. So if we looked at... So anyway, yeah. This is the design for the legs. You can see under there, they're actually articulated. They're on robot arms up here, those droid arms. And then some of these newer pieces there. And I thought it would be like really... and then the head moves a little bit. The head's on a hinge right there too. I thought it would be really unstable, but it sits up pretty well. I thought it was going to collapse in on itself, but it works pretty well. I really like the canister look. If you don't know what a shell walker looks like, I'll pull that up real quick. Shell walker, just so you get an idea of what this is supposed to be. So this is the shell walker. So there's a couple pieces I'm going to show you here in a second inside that I don't have, like not even close to having. But you can see the big claw here. It opens up. It's basically a loader, so it can put these big cargo things on top. So it can move those, and this just is a big shield projector, but it can also shoot energy beams. This also has a lot of people building Lego versions of it, so I'm trying not to look at those. But they're all big Lego versions, right? They're all like, these are monstrously big. They're not what's the word I'm looking for? Minifig scale. So I think this is more minifig scale. If you look, this is about how big. It's supposed to be a little bigger than a Strider once it's got its canister on, and I think the comparison works pretty well. Here, I think you can kind of see what's going on here. Here's another shot of how... Oh wait, this is not designed yet. So you can see... You couldn't see any of that. This is a shell walker. with the big claw that opens up, right? It's a big claw that opens up. So this part of the arm actually does open up. I'm very happy with the way it turned out. So, and you can see the size comparison here and whatever. So let's look at how much they are, because I've uploaded the parts to Bricklink for these two models. So just based off the parts, like if you don't have any of these parts and you just ordered them, if you just did the Strider, let's do easy buy because it tries to get as many as it can from one location, but it might be international. So this is the drink for tonight. We're doing another Austin Eastsiders passion fruit cider. So this doesn't look too bad. $16, but one of these is coming from Portugal. The game does have some amazing vehicles. Something I'm going to talk about while I'm doing some stuff tonight. So for $16 plus shipping and handling, you can get the Strider. If you didn't want to do an international store, you could do, if you did all local, we do auto select, and we don't want that. About $16, but it's across 4 stores, so you'd be paying between $2 and $6 in shipping per each store. So not much. And a lot of these pieces you should have on hand. There's not really any super crazy parts on here, I don't think. These leg hinges are going to be the big ones. Those like rounded plates with the bars in between them. The posing stands may be expensive if you wanted to get them in orange. That kind of stuff. No, the vehicles are not pilot. They are. So the story goes that, and I'm going to go ahead and close this, and I'm going to look at the design. So I'm going to look at this again. This is the piece. These are the pieces in here that I don't have. There's this big Technic, like axle arm lift connector thing with socket joints. It's perfect for being that center piece, right? It sticks underneath. It'll stick underneath the canister, and it provides the ball joints for the shoulders, and it doesn't rotate, so it's not like swivelly. So that's very cool, but I don't have that. I have one of these pieces. Oops. I have one of these, but it doesn't have this hole in the middle of it. It's just these two end pieces. So I could probably try to get away with one. Yeah, the cars are half buried in the ground. And in Forbidden West, they finally realized that you can hit the trunks and open them up, and there's loot inside the trunks. It's pretty cool. So the story goes, there was a... so I'm not going to save this because I didn't make any changes. So we're going to do new. There was... I don't want to give too much away because I honestly think you should play it. You start off as this child, like 8, maybe 8 or 9, something like that, and you are an outcast, and your father, for all intents and purposes, is this guy who's also an outcast. I'm gonna go ahead and do I have the figure still in here? I don't. Dang it. I had an Aloy figure that was perfect, and I wanted to keep it. Nope. I guess I saved it without it. Nope. Okay. Well, shoot. Zissou. So you start off as this little girl, and your father is teaching you how to hunt. Now you don't know anything about what's going on, and you are very tribal looking. Oh man, this one doesn't have it either. I'm gonna have to rebuild the figure. Okay, that's fine. It's very tribal looking, right? It's lots of feathers and leather bits stitched together, and like cloth straps and things like that. And but the things around you are the animals you notice are these machines. Now there's other animals too around. There's like foxes and raccoons and peccaries, some birds, mini fig head, and but the machines all look like the first ones you encounter are the red eye watchers, or the watchers, and they kind of look like really small velociraptors, like armless velociraptor. There's really nothing to them. They look like something that may have been designed by Boston Dynamics or something, right? They're very kind of alien. The next ones you discover are striders, which look like horses. And then you also discover lancehorns or grazers, and grazers look like big elk or something. They're very kind of like pasture animals. So the whole time your father is teaching you how to hunt them, right? And all you have is a bow and arrow, right? As a child. And he's got a bow and arrow and like a spear staff thing. So when you're a little kid, you learn how to do all this stuff, how to hunt them. And then there's a montage where you're training because you're an outcast, but if you go to this proving, you get to join the tribe if you pass the proving, right? So the whole thing is like you're gearing up to pass this proving. As a child, you like one of the very first things that happens is you stumble into this ruin, and the ruin is all metal. So you're instantly thinking, like, the bits that they wear on their bodies are all pieces of metal, pieces of technology, or plexiglass, or fiberglass, or something. They just look like they've been machined, right? Little triangles and wedges with like stickers on them and stuff. And you're like, well, that's really weird. So we're just assuming that it's some sort of post-apocalyptic thing, right? And this is this is what the humans are after whatever great thing happened. Oh, finding hands is just the worst. I wish I could bookmark these somehow. So, when you're a little kid, you fall into this ruin, and you're kind of, I forget if you're running away from your dad or something, but you stumble upon this ruin, and I think this was it. Yeah. That looks kind of good. And while you're there, you're like, there's this technology everywhere, and I've never seen anything like that. And what is this place? And while you're down there, you find this thing, right? You find a body, and on this, you see this little thing shining, and there's like a dead body, right? And it's got this thing on its head. It's this little triangle. And you pick it up, and you kind of look at it, and you notice that it was on this person's head. So you put it on up near your head, and it kind of snaps to your head and activates and turns on. And that's what you later come to find out is called a focus. And it shows you, like, it scans things around you and kind of gives you like a world HUD, so to speak. Like, it'll scan things and tell you what they are and things like that. So that's how you navigate the world. That helps you in the proving later when you become a teenager. You're like you're 19 or something like that. So then it progresses. There's a larger story. There's a bigger world. You go explore. There's something big happening with the machines and what controls the machines and what made the machines and how this all started way back in like 10 years from now, right? So something about 10 years from, and it starts this process of what becomes their timeline, which is like 3020. Play around. I swear I'm getting to the design of this thing. So anyway, the machines are basically, without giving too much more away, the machines are an attempt by a program that was left behind, we'll say, to kind of revitalize the world, right? But it has kind of run a little bit amok, and that's kind of the story that you're gonna run into. So that's why some of these are like called resource collectors, because they're out there just kind of trying to do their thing. And some of them are more aggressive. They're combat focused, so they'll go after you. Some of them are transport. Some of them are something else. I forget what it's called. But yeah, so it's just a huge collection, and they're supposed to be sort of versions of animals in the real world, right? But the thing that designed them is like it went overboard. So it made them like twice as big, and I didn't want that one. I wanted a smaller one. Maybe that's the only one that I've got. Yeah, let's do that one. So during the course of your world traveling, you kind of unearth the whole story behind it, and it's all right. So that's Aloy. We're gonna go with that. That's about how big she is. And I've missed a lot of the conversations here, so I apologize. No, so part of the beauty of the game to me was that it's very procedurally generated, in that it knows, and this is just kind of how games are now, and this is one of the first ones to kind of do this, in that it recognizes that when you're not looking at a thing, it doesn't have to know what that thing is. So it really only renders what you're looking at, which is a lot of memory usage to remember where that stuff is, but not as much to like have it kind of stored to be instantly recalled. So that's why it was really pushing the envelope. And every time I run this game, my poor PS4 was like a jet engine. You could just hear it going, woo, you know. And that's why there is a DLC coming out that is only for PS5, because they're like, there's some stuff that we want to do. There's these big like terraforming robots that are called Horus. And the plural of Horus is apparently Horus. That are like the size of a mountain, and they've got like these giant tentacles. But they don't move. They're frozen, right? They've been that way for thousands of years, or 1,000 years. And apparently in the DLC, they want to make one move, and they're like, that's not something we could do in a previous console. We just couldn't do that properly. So like, sorry, PS4 people, you can't play the DLC that's coming out. All right, these are pretty big. They're pretty tall, so they're going to be they're going to be taller than she is, but their legs are spindly. And I know the canisters are going to be the same size pretty much. So we'll just make a couple of these to put in here. These may be a little longer though, so let's do. And like, depends on where where you look. Also, so the animals also have, like, your weapon set also has elements that you can use against the machines, and the machines have weaknesses and strengths. So there's like frost, fire, electricity, plasma, impact, tear, and there's a water one, and I can't remember what the water one is. It's well, hell's bells. That's gonna bother me. Purge water. And acid was the other one. So if you inundate, if like you shoot an arrow, enough arrows at a machine, it has this little symbol that comes up and it's fire. And when that fills all the way up, it's on fire, right? If you just shoot it, it's fine. But if you fill it all the way up, it's currently on fire and it will start burning. It's a burning state. If you fill it full of plasma, like you shoot it enough times that fills up with plasma, then there's a countdown, and when the countdown's done, it explodes. If you shoot it with frost, it becomes brittle, and your impact arrows after that deal more damage. You also have this spear, and you can you have these melee attacks and stuff. So it's very much like, I mean, it's any kind of RPG / giant world thing where you've got melee attacks, range attacks. You can upgrade your gear, you can upgrade your outfits, you can upgrade your weapons. Some of your side quests will produce more weapons. You've got this thing that's like a highlight glove that throws these spinning discs, and the discs do damage, and then they come back to you and you can catch them. You've got these things that are like sling bolts that you throw. You've got like bolt guns that will shoot bolts out of various elements. So the first game, there wasn't a ton where you could do outside of, and then you learn how to override these machines in certain places. So you can kind of sneak up. There's a thing that you put on your spear that can override things. Like if you kind of jam it up next to one of the machines, you can override it, and then you can mount the machine and it's your ride to where you want to go. So that's how you kind of ride these animals and get around. These don't come in dark bluish gray. I was kind of hoping for dark bluish gray. So yeah, so the machines are very cool. They all have some of these machines, like these, or the grazers, or bristlebacks. They're herd animals, so they exist in herds or packs, and if you spook them, they'll run away. Like if you're just hiding in the grass and you stealth shoot them, if you hit one of their canisters, like the elemental canisters, and it explodes and it like damages everybody around it, they get spooked and they'll just run away, right? You don't have to fight them. You can also just kind of run past them. Nobody can really catch you if you're sprinting. So you don't have to fight everybody all the time. So this is what I feel like these canisters look like. And then they've got these things that hold them on. So these are shielded too, and that's going to be hard to do. Because you can knock pieces off of here. Like if I'm shooting this thing, your focus can scan an animal. I really am apologizing. I'm not paying attention to the chat. I'm just blabbering. Yeah, they might make a TV show. I'd like them to get all 3 games out first before they do that. So if you scan it with your focus, if you hit like R3, it turns on your scanner. The first game, I think it does a pulse, and then if you hold it longer, it'll like open up the scanner, right? And if you scan an animal or a machine, it'll tell you like what's weak to, what it's strong against, and then you can cycle through with your D-pad all the parts to the animal that may be important. Like the canisters are important. There's usually a weak spot. Some of like the horns or the panels on the legs or something are important. The bigger animals will have weapons that you can kind of knock off and then use the weapons against them. That's very cool. So these are all going to be in different, like, held in different ways. I don't know what can go around these. I'll have to figure that out. But anyway, so it's got 4 of these kind of arranged. Let's arrange these first. Kind of like this. And then it's probably got a bit of a base on it. So it's the same. Yeah, see, these are these canisters. So usually you can shoot this canister. This one's either, it's a lance horn, so that's probably freeze. If you damage that canister, it's pretty cool. You hit it with the same element arrow. Like if you match that element to whatever that part is, it'll either explode instantly or it'll like leak for a second and then explode. It's really kind of fun. But sometimes they're armored. Like the game kind of learns to cover these up as the machines go along. So you have to kind of remove the parts. So these may be different canisters. So let's leave those. It may not be 4. It may be 2 of those. So yeah, so that's the game. There's been 2 games, and I've played all of them. The only one I haven't played is the VR game. Where you are like a random person and you end up you're not anybody in the story, but you like end up fighting creatures and going places and whatever. Let's see, the controls are average. Like I would say that they're not bad. Like the fighting in the second game is a little weird because you can develop more melee attacks. And there's not a side quest, but like there's main quest, side quest, errands, jobs, and then there's all these things you can discover. There's also races you can compete in. The second game has, is it Strike? It's something like Strike, where it's like the in-game from Witcher, the card game. I forget what that is, but Strike, Machine Strike. And it's like chess, right? It's like a battle board, right? Where you've got pieces. And if you beat the person, you keep the pieces. Or you get to pick one of their pieces. And you can buy pieces at stores. And you can... Like, the first time I played it, I was like, I don't want to play any of this. And then the second playthrough, I'm like, I'm not even going to play one of these games. So let's see. These are kind of mounted on... It looks like... let's do the second canister here. Because these look different. Those are just going to be, I'm going to do the same. Really? Because those look different than those. So I'm going to do, let's get rid of that and do bracket. So I'm trying to find a couple pieces that I know might work, and this is sort of the process, is find things that you think might work in this situation, and if it looks good, do it, and if it doesn't, then like this might need to be a little bigger. Let's do another one of those. But if it starts getting too big, I'll have to tone it back a little bit. And then that can be, let's just cover it with a grill. Grill tile. So yeah, I proselytize this game a lot. It's just, it's pretty. It takes a long time to play too, which is good. But it doesn't have to. Like you can churn through the major part of the story in 50 hours, maybe 40 hours. If you really want to go into all the side quests, you could easily spend a good 70 hours on it. Oh wait, let's move this back. The voice acting's very good. It's got Lance Riddick is in it, which I think is really cool. He's got a very good voice. I see, Aloy, that you've come this far, and you don't think you can go any farther. And then, not Tilda Swinton, Carrie-Anne Moss is in the second one, as kind of a, not a major player, but like a secondary kind of big character farther down the game. The scenery is pretty. Like, I could just walk. Like, you can fast travel, but I could just walk everywhere. And later on in the second game, you get a sunwing mount, and so you can fly everywhere. And, like, it's so pretty. And I just want to fly around all over the place. Like, yeah, I don't care this thing is 5,000 clicks away. I'm going to fly everywhere. Yeah, like, if I just played, like, a half hour or so a game a day, it would probably take a few months. I remember last time it took, like, 4 or 5 months to get through it all, but totally worth it. All right, so I need to attach this and figure out how to attach it to the body, but we'll work on that when we get to the body. So this has, like, a single... I'm going to go ahead and just do modified plates. So I wrote, I actually was thinking about talking about this. I wrote kind of a fan fiction, and if you're interested, I can get you the link to the Google Doc. But I wrote, or I'm in the process of world building the third game, just for fun. And I've got the main story beats, like what's going to happen. The main locations, the main tribes of all the people, a couple new machines. I felt like fast traveling was kind of cheating. Like, I'm like, well, I'm going to need to walk to gather more medicinal herbs and food so I can craft stuff. Like, fast travel is going to, like, ruin me if I do this. I'm trying to decide if I want these ball joints or just... Like, I don't really care that the neck turns all that much. Maybe the head I'll put on a ball joint, but let's just do this to start. And I'll rotate this up. The other thing about these machines is, like, for the most part, I think it's white plating, but it's this sort of like super light gray, like Star Wars gray, where it could be white. So that's why the tall neck is white, because of that, which is why I tried to keep as much as these guys as I could white, because gray is even light gray isn't gray enough, or isn't light enough. So like, these should be, well, those are fine. Actually, I wish these were... Do we have anything else? Does this come in dark gray? No. Does this come in dark gray? No. What does that come in? Nothing that I could find useful. Okay. It'll have to be it. I may change those to black. Does this come in black? Nope. Does this come in black? Nope. Does this come in black? Black. Let's see. How expensive are these? I've never seen this piece. $15. Nope. We're just gonna leave that as is. That's good right there. Okay. Yeah, this isn't a great view of how tall it is, but I think that'll get the idea across. I can always make these tanks a little bigger. She can technically, I think, ride Lancehorns or Grazers. I forget which ones, but I think she can ride a couple of these. Man. So, I love that thing. Like, it was scary. And just opened up a whole new world of ideas about what it could be and where it came from. And see, I wish that this I wish this piece would come with with like 2 clips on either side. So I've been watching a lot of the recap videos, and I've been watching a lot of things about people. This may be too long. Let's do. So if you haven't seen it, I hope I'm not going to be spoiling anything with this, but there's a lot of people who think that machine was from the Zepho. And the Zepho are basically the people who use the Force before the Jedi and the Sith. The Zepho were in... Oh, excuse me, I'm very burpy. The Zepho were in Jedi Fallen Order. They were part of, like, when you went to that first planet, and I can't remember the name of the planet, but, like, one of the temples that you went into, like, most of the stuff you went through there was, like, images of the Zepho, and they were, like, these very alien creatures with, like, these big flat heads and, like, kind of long, big-eyed faces. And they were this ancient race that had built all this stuff, and it was very Force sensitive, and everything's like, who are the Zepho, you know, kind of thing. And so this machine comes out, and it's got a head that kind of resembles the Zepho people, civilization. And everyone went, interesting. And so the thinking is that may link back to something in Jedi Fallen Order or Jedi Survivor? And we may see more of them in the Alkalite series. I don't know how far back that goes, but I think it's supposed to be before the High Republic even. I'm not sure. We may see some Zepho in there. Well, I don't know. Offender Sith lead. I've always wanted a villain in the lead of Star Wars. Yeah. So, let's group that. So I just don't have to look at all the parts that don't exist. That doesn't exist in that part. That's only in this gray, and then this is gray, and these are all going to be black probably. That looks like it's gray as it gets to the head. So this is... There may need to be a place for her to sit, I think. Aloy mounts Lance Horn. I don't know if she can ride a Lance Horn or not. Yeah, if it's like Old Republic, like pre-High Republic, that'd be great. All right, so here's your mounts. You can do a Charger, Bristleback. They're like riding big Longhorns or something like that. Claw Strider, which are like Raptors. And then a Sunwing. I thought you could ride a Lancehorn or something. Claw Striders are awesome because they look like big raptors with these big tails, and then their jaws are like chainsaws, and you can actually see the jaws turning when you're up close to them. They're very cool. I do not like fighting them. I would rather fight a Thunderjaw than those stupid things. I hate them. But this does look like it has an area where it can sit, and it looks like it's a... That's a good join place. So let's do a let's do a modified plate. And we'll do... Oh, this would be cool. That'd be a great piece if we mix it up. Because that can be black. I've got a couple of those. Put this in here. And we can switch these. And have this in the middle. Have this up here. And have this connect here. There we go. Cool. Let's lower this. this. Yeah, I'm excited for the Alkalite. I'm excited for Mando Season 3. I'm excited for Ahsoka. Just a lot to be excited about. This can be now a plate modified with a ball joint. But it will have to be... So this may have to be a 3 plate. So I'm trying to keep this a little skinny. It only has to support a head. It doesn't have to support a rider or any legs. What the hell happened? But I still don't want it to be very thick up in here. It's also supposed to have these chains along the side, which I haven't really figured out yet. But, let's see, these are too big. What was I thinking of? We could actually do chains. Be the same. Oh my God, it's hot right here. These come in, what color is that? Yeah, well that's an option. That's too long. I thought there was another there's another thing that could be linked. Maybe I am thinking of these and they're just not big enough. That would be pretty cool. That's too long too. Well, I'll think of that. So yeah, there's going to have to be a thing that connects to the head and goes down here. So all these animals too, like they will, for the most part, have a blue eye until they sense something, and it's like a movie trope, right? They sense something, and it turns yellow. That means you know they're on alert, and then if it turns red, it means they see you and they're coming after you. There's also different types of animals of the same machine. There's different variations of the types of animals. So you can have, what's a good example? There's these ones called Bellowbacks, which are like, they're weird. Bellowbacks are not like any animal I know of. They are, you're just gonna have to see it. Oh, it's 2 L's. Okay. So they're dinosaur-like, but is that a big one? Yeah. This is another one that I'm probably going to do fairly soon. These have 3 different variations. They have a freeze bellowback, an acid bellowback, and a fire or a blaze bellowback. So it's got these giant walking legs, right? No arms, and then a tail back here, and it's got this big tank back here, and these pumps that basically feed into a giant funnel. And like it's like a blowtorch with legs is all this thing is. And so it sits there and it shoots these fireballs at you, or just a constant stream of fire or acid or frost, snow, icy stuff. The good thing is if you hit that tank, it's like a built-in weak spot where it just explodes and like everything around it goes crazy. So I don't know why I started talking about this, but yeah. Did I see the long neck in the Bad Batch? Yes, we were just talking about that. Or the tall neck, the long neck. So my first thought was not the Zepho. My first thought was this thing called the Emperor Sea Strider from this show. This is going back a bit. there's this creature called an Emperor Sea Strider, and it's from this show called Alien World or something. It was a Discovery Channel show where they went... It was a fictitious thing where they went to this planet called Darwin 4. And it was like, this is the first exoplanet we found that has life, and we're sending this probe, and the probe's this little like hover drone thing with like a little head that looks around, and it's got arms and grappling hooks and stuff, but it's recording all these life forms, so it's like a documentary about this world. So this thing's called an Emperor Sea Strider, and basically it walks along, it's not an amniotic, an amoebic, a giant like single-celled ocean, right? The ocean on this planet is not really water. It's this giant... I mean, there is water, but there's also this giant single-celled sea, right? And there's all kinds of creatures that live inside it and around it and stuff. So this thing is like the size of a 4-story building, and it just walks along, and its feet are mouths, and it just eats as it walks. And then what it does is it turns that into energy, and then it burns off stuff, and it comes out of its head. And this energy comes out of its head, right? Burn off. And then so there's all these things that swirl around its head because it's like burning off stuff. So the things that like hover around sea vents and things, the same kind of principle. And that's all it does. Its life is just walking constantly. So when I saw the Zepho long neck thing, I was like, or the thing in Bad Batch, I was like, oh, that's the Emperor Sea Strider. But then everyone's like, it's Zepho. It's the Zepho race. So here's the Zepho people. They look like this. So, I mean, I wonder, right? I don't know if they're going to have a picture of it in here yet. But it's basically Bad Batch, giant monster. So I have a theory about it too, is like it's left on this planet to hunt those beasts that it was... They don't have it as an image yet. I don't even know what to call it. Zepho monster? Because I think people are already making the ties to it being the Zepho people that left it behind. What are we on? Episode 3, 4? Anyway, yeah. It's cool. I liked it. I'm sure it'll be a Lego set. It'll be about that big. It will not be very well referenced in minifig terms to anything. Like, the scale will be all wrong. And I need to close down some of these tabs because I think I'm using too much. I'll leave that. No, don't need that. That. Okay, good. 5. Okay. So, yeah. What's the name of the episode? Bad Batch, episode 4? Nope, that was the pod racing episode. These are the ancients. I wonder what they're calling it, though. Bad Batch giant robot. Yeah, see, already. Giant walker might be made by the Zepho. Mysterious giant mech thing. And of course, there's no pictures of it. They just want to talk about it. Come on, comic book resources. Don't let me down. Who thought it was the Zillow Beast? This is the dumbest question ever. The Bad Batch's walker was not the Zillow Beast. It's not even close, man. Okay, well, I give up on comic book resources then. Anywho, back to what I was doing. Let's do a clip, plate, modified. Let's just do one of these right here for fun, because it looks like that piece goes there. Right? It looks like that little piece right there. We'll do 2 of those. Okay. And then, so right in here is when we're going to start needing to do the legs. Now the legs for these things are kind of weird because they end in points. They end in little, not much more than probably a tooth. So if we did like a tooth or a barb, it probably wouldn't be too much more than teeth, barb, probably something like this, or even this, even skinnier than that. Blade. So I'm probably going to find something that's a little curved, like this. This, but smaller. This would be perfect for that. So I'll have to keep an eye out for that. Maybe that? I mean, without making it look like an actual sword. But I mean, they look like that. They look like little swords. Excuse me. But as always, they need to bend and do all kinds of stuff because it needs to walk. But I think after here, there's no joint. So that's fine. But right in here is where those legs need to start, and it looks like they've got just a little, like if we did a curve slope, something like this as the shoulder, right in there. And I don't really know how wide this is going to be, but it looks like it'll probably be out to here, at least as wide as the canisters. And if there's 2 canisters right next to each other, then that's the width. So probably right about there. All right, so I'm just trying to get spacing down here. I'll try to figure out exactly where these go. Well, let's do this. Let's make it hard on myself by making it all like odd numbered wide. Like that. I'm sure we'll figure that out. What's up, Synthetic Mason? What's up? So I'm doing the lance horn instead of the grazer. Because you've done the grazer and it looked really good, so I'm just going to try to avoid getting ideas from that, but they're virtually the same animal. Like they've got the little hangy things even from the face. The difference, other than like, I think there's different blaze canisters on the back or different canisters on the back of the grazer, or they're covered differently, but also there's these like chains going down here, which I think feed into these drill horns up here. Oh. Wow, caps lock is on. Drill. There's, I was thinking of using, that's too big. These for the horns on the head. Bye, Brad. But I don't know what color they come in. And of course they come in like a weird color that Let's see, do I get a better lance horn? Take care, Brad. You have yourself a good International Lego Day Saturday if you're going to be doing anything. These are black for the most part. So I need something black-ish. This is just a really good picture right here. I don't think these can be black, so we'll keep that in mind, but... Yeah, treads. That's what I was thinking of. The only problem that I was having is, like, I couldn't... Like, I thought about doing those chain links, but they're too wide. So then I thought about doing maybe some ropes. I just don't have anything really good yet, but I'll look into it. But yeah, they look like just chain link something. They just look like chains from your bike. But they will come down the side of the thing to make the neck a little thicker and then kind of connect underneath here, right? So there's that. So these are going to go down a little lower. These are going to be lower because the legs are going to be joined in here somewhere. So let's go ahead and give it... What's the... 4L bar isn't going to be long enough for this. Really? No. Because that's about as far as the body is. I don't mind using these 2L bars again. Just stick these out of, like... I mean, this seemed to be a good solution to have these in a Technic brick. And if I even wanted to do a single Technic brick like this, which are not uncommon, black, these are in dark gray, like that, those on either side. So like right there, no, right there, probably, yeah. Macro bricks. Spider-Man rope. Yeah, I thought about that. Those are pretty long though. I would have to cut them. I did look at that though. These are pretty cool and they come in black. So that's good. I might be able to like tuck it in somewhere, like, because it's about twice as long, unless I can figure out how to like double it up, because I think, no, you can't do anything with it. Some of these in the newer studio now, you can bend them. You can go through and tell it to be bent, like tubes and stuff. You can twist it and do whatever you want with it, but it's a process and it sucks so bad to be able to do that. But now that I think about it, I could probably have it start like right here and then kind of, actually, does this have a thing on it? No. Start like right here and then kind of snake up the side and figure out how to keep it connected, and then like loop around the head and then come back and attach back under here. I don't think it's long enough, but maybe. We can always flatten it out and see. So macro, I do have a shell walker, kind of in physical form. I'll show you here in a second. I put in a Bricklink order today for parts, so I hate that. This is one thing I'm like, dude, really? There we go. So yeah, that's slightly more. It depends on where it feeds through, but I was thinking like the ball joint would be right here and the head would go kind of on top of that, so maybe not long enough. Yeah, so here's so far with the shell walker. I'm really happy with how it's turning out. I do have other parts waiting to come in, like I need orange or gray bits right here. These are supposed to be like a blue. These are supposed to be white. But the legs, the leg combination works really well. Like the droid arms and those bar plate modified things work pretty good. It's a lot more stable than I thought it would be. I'm missing a big Technic thing in the middle. A piece that will act as like the center section, but also shoulder joints. And then two big arm things on either side. And these are the arms. These are the hands on either side. So this is the energy projection arm on one side. And this is the loading claw on the other one. And the loading claw does officially open up. So this was hard to figure out. Like I wanted to do these little bitty pieces like the claws and stuff. But I mean, that works just fine. So I'm waiting for orange pieces here. And then it folds up and it looks just like the game version. So yeah. And I think the scale is pretty good. Like, I think that scale is pretty good. Right? I think that's not bad. She should be about as tall as, like a little taller than one of those leg segments. So I think that works out pretty well. I'm so excited for this. Like, I can't wait to get about 3 or 4 of these and then have a bunch of the red eye walkers acting like the convoys like they do in the game. Oh, I'm so excited to have like a giant world of these things. Just make a bunch of scenery and have all these little machines all over the place. It's going to be so great. All right, so back to this. And thanks for coming by, Macro. I appreciate it. I hope you're staying warm. Oh, I need to see what the score is. Or do I want to wait until the game's over and then... No, I just saw the score. Fuck. I mean... Shoot. Okay. So the rope may be a thing. We're going to put it off to the side and kind of think about it. Yeah, I'm hoping to do, if not like individually, I kind of want to do for like photo purposes to do little dioramas for each of them. Something where Aloy's kind of interacting. Like this one's going to be great because I can just do like it just running over like some rocks. It doesn't even have to be very big, just about that big, you know. But for the most of the time, she's going to be either hiding from it or, you know, it's hard to get a Lego figure to like slide, do like one of those great poses that she has where she's sliding and shooting an arrow up at the underbelly of a Thunderjaw or something. Okay, so I want to do that. Let's go ahead and put a socket. I need to shave. I can tell because I've got one hair that keeps doing this and it keeps catching my eye. I'm going to put this up here just to get it ready for it to be a head, because it's going to be a head up there. And I'm sure this is going to be... I don't want to get too crazy with the greebling because I'm still going to have to do stuff. But I can already tell you that this is going to be like... What the F? Where'd it go? Oh, yeah. Perfect temperature to be working outside. Like, remember the days of... See, this is the piece I was looking for. I need this piece in black, and I need these two pieces in gray. So if anybody has these pieces, I would love to, like, take them off your hands. They're not that much, you know, they're not expensive or anything. They just, I don't have them. I don't even think they're $2 on Bricklink. I think they're like 50 cents or $1 or something like that. Anyway, when I was working outside for the city long time ago, I didn't want it to be super hot, and this was Denver, so it was like dry hot, and you're up 50, 200 feet, and you don't want it to be too hot, but you also don't want it to be frigid, because I would have to work in, like, it would be negative, you know, 20 or 30 or something like that, and my boss is still like, did you meet your quota? Why haven't you registered that yet? I'm like, are you kidding me right now? So I'm going to try to do that. Looks tan? Like, it's hard to tell what these colors are. I think it's just white again. We're just going to go with white. But yeah, something like, I would even like it at like 30 or 40 degrees outside, because it's not freezing, but it keeps you cool while you're working. That's the bee's knees. Absolutely. I'm going to do hands. Release, because I want to grab one of these hands so I don't have to go effing looking for it. Hopefully I didn't just steal it. I just wanted to... Alright, hand is going to be these little dangly things right here. So I need to figure out how to get those up there. And they hang backwards, so... Need it to be straight for a second. $180. Here we go. Ah. I should just say, yeah, I've got like a bunch of Technic pieces from the 27 million years of collecting and whatever. The problem I also have is, like, I have got so much to sort through right now, and I'm just mad at myself knowing that I'm going to have this part somewhere and I'm still gonna have to, like, order it from Bricklink. That frustrates me so bad. I'm like, I know I've got this piece somewhere. I have to. Alright, so that is that. Figure out how to attach that. It's got a single cone eye thing, so we'll just do... So here's the trick, is like whatever big diorama I have, diorama, depending on where you are in the US or North America, is wherever she's going to be on the diorama, like a big one, I'm going to have to turn all their eyes yellow or red. And then the ones on the outsides that don't see her yet are all going to be blue. So keep that in mind. All right, so horn. See, I want something that's barbed. Like the chainsaw would be good, but it's not pointy. Like, it's got barbs on it, but it's not a drill. It's not like this jagged drill. I don't think really anything that Lego is going to have is going to... I mean, that would be... I mean, I stand corrected, but that's entirely too big. But I mean, that's perfect. Crap. So let's get that this thing back out here, and Man, I wish it was in black. Like even flat silver's too light. No, I'm gonna do the bar holder thing like that, and that's gonna be black. Actually, maybe I'll have to go with, or at least it matches. And then there's going to be these little things that are probably going to be like this. Nope. Like that. And then round things with pips. These are going to be white. Nope, those are going to be orange. Thank you for selecting both of those. Thank you for turning the color. What the heck? Sometimes, I swear. And these are pips. They look like they're going on the inside. I'm actually like trying to get the glare of an image to go away. That's pretty funny. White and then orange. So, but then again white or gray. So let's do, no, that's fine. I'll make it work. This is gonna be a round tile. Ooh, I didn't know these existed. What colors they'll come in? Oh, orange. Oh, cool. Can I use these? Price updating. All right, well, let's go see how much it is. This looks like a little, curling stone. I mean, I'm sure it's something else, but it looks like it could be a little curling stone, right? Color it like different colors for your country, or just, you know, dark gray, because they're usually dark gray. And then put like a round plate under it, like dark gray on the top, and then, you know, you're blue and you're red. So you got a whole bunch of curling stones ready to throw. Okay, went off on a tangent, sorry. I was looking up prices. Orange. Oh, it's a new piece and they don't have, it appears in whatever sets. 4 sets. I'm gonna guess friend sets or dots. Yep, dots. All right, so, but it doesn't have like, oh, here we go. I was like, just show me it for sale, man. 30 cents. Okay. And somebody's got 700 of them. So that might be a use. Is it actually orange? Because this would be cool. I don't think this would attach very well, though, now that I think about it. Yeah, the claw's too big or something. Or it doesn't attach on the inside. Or the snap just doesn't work on it very well. So, you know what? Bye. We're just going to go back to this thing. Tile around that. Because this, I know, works. And this will allow it to kind of bend forward a little bit when it reaches down to till the ground, so to speak. So again, this isn't exact, but it is good enough. Because these are very articulate. Like if you're looking at this, that's very articulate. Like it looks like they twist. They got a twisty bit and then another twisty bit right here. So I think that would work. I almost want that to be longer. I wonder if I can do that. So instead of that, we did another one of these. No, I need a different. And this was white, correct? White. And then a bar 3L. So it's a little longer. And then we can have these rotated inwards, like so. I like that a little better. I think that looks a little better. And I'm gonna have him rotate these back a bit. Oh, good, thanks. Sometimes I swear to bejesus. It should work, but does it? No, see, it's still not connected. Okay, well, you know what? Get bent. Okay. Looking good. You know what we haven't done since an hour and a half ago? Lance horn. Ugh. Yeah, I'm really liking how this is looking. It may be a little big. Let's put Aloy down here for comparison. But I think... No, they're pretty tall. Like, I get run over by these quite a bit. And I think it's... As long as it's no taller than that. The legs are actually a bit short. So we got... If I raised it up... Let's get rid of all this stuff for now. Like, I think its legs... Yeah, that may be a little tall. So I may shorten up the neck. So the legs are probably going to be about yay tall. That's probably going to be a bit big. Nope. Stop it. I mean... She's like head high to the shoulders. That works. I think that works. It's so hard to get this scale right. Like the tall neck really ruined it. Yeah, I think as long as it doesn't get too much taller than that, it'll be all right. And maybe trim up this neck a little bit, make it a little shorter. I don't know how, but whatever. You know what I miss are those, I don't know if they even exist in Bricklink, but it's a, I don't even know if you can find it. Articulated arm. All right, articulated arm Lego. Classic space. Classic space. This thing. Man, I miss those. These could have been so useful in so many ways. especially for something like this where it has to be kind of flexible. These were so great. Like, I loved these things. The Classic Space sets had several of them on the fronts of things, and then after that they kind of died off. Yeah, they were great. But sadly, now I have to deal with this. So, because what I want is for like a segment to be like just slightly smaller than this. You know what I could do? Plate ball. These guys are expensive, but maybe I could put them in here. Oh, and they're red and yellow, so of course I don't think I can squeeze a yellow in there, but I might be able to. How much is it? $5. Nope. Yeah. If there's just like something like the teeth things, these are still around, but I don't think they have like two ends. Oh, they do. So I might be able to do this instead. That's not a bad idea. It'd be just as flexible. I wouldn't have to worry about it being... Oh, and these are cheap too. Huh. You know what? I'm really liking this. The problem I'm going to run into is like how to terminate them. So I can do one end with this. And I guess the other end with this. Oh no. Haha, sorted. Same thing. Oh, I don't, yeah. I won't be able to turn the head because this is on a ball and it'd be fun to turn it. But it's good to know that this exists because I can make this neck a lot shorter and it wouldn't be nearly as cumbersome. I could even put another segment in here. Yeah, maybe one more segment. Since they're apparently very cheap. Turn that around. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to keep some of this up here ready to attach a bunch of chains and stuff to it. And if I did this, there's no way to attach those chains really, but there's bars in here that you can use for things like this. Like I could put this in here, something like that. I don't think there's anything where that's like a 2.5, 3 wide with just like a bar in it maybe, but oh, I got 30 minutes, James. Thanks for being here. Welcome aboard. Normally, yeah, 9:30, but I've been trying to go 2 hours instead of an hour and a half. All right. So it's hard to tell, really. This is very, like, its body is very... I can't tell what's straight here because in some of these images it looks like it's coming straight off, so its shoulders look a little higher, right? And its back legs are kind of squat. And then another one it's like bending down, or it's on a hill, so this stuff is all bending up. So I think I'm going kind of based off of this. What are those canisters? I'm going to jump around a little bit. How you doing, James? How's life? Did you get all that faux bulk sorted yet? I haven't even... Mine's just in a pot in a stack over here. Don't really need these because something is going to be able to attach to that. And I have a feeling I know what, which means I'm going to put these plate rounds in here so I can stick a bar in there or something. No sorting done at all. Are you going to go to, are either of you or your family going to the library this weekend? We're going to be doing bridge building. Oh, yay! Brick MOC building. I love it. I love it when MOCs come together. See, this is deceiving too because of all these blue tubes and wires and stuff that are here. So when you override an animal, you can see it's not present over here. And the whole reason I think this person was able to get this screenshot is because if you override an animal or a machine in the first game, it just becomes docile to you. In the first game, if it's an aggressive animal, it will go after other animals. In the second game, you can tell it while you're overriding it, do you want it to be offensive or defensive? So it'll either kind of follow you around and like kind of protect you. And if you say offensive, it just tears after any other machines. So, not sure in the library. I had a big day of Lowe's, Bed Bath and Beyond. Don't have, it's fine. It's like, it's the same studio talk I gave at Brick Rodeo. It's the same bridge building thing that we've done. It's the same foliage workshop that Lasso's done before. It'll just be different people and different kids. So I don't even want this to be a grill plate. Let's just put a white tile in there. What colors can that be? Oh, that can be yellow. Perfect. Man, these are gonna be white. These brackets are constantly surprising me. That looks really good. I like that a lot. Yeah, old school problems. I was filing my taxes today. And I've had one job for 18 years and I rent and I don't own any property. And it's just, I'm like basic 1040, whatever. I can do it for free on IRS or I can do it for Credit Karma or whatever. And, oh, I had an idea for this. Let me see if it's the same on this side over here. Yeah. Hopefully this comes in yellow. Hot diggity. So I was doing it and I like got it done and I was like, oh, I noticed that Credit Karma won't offer it for free next year because they got bought by Cash App or something. And so but they're still offering it for them for this year. And then this I hate doing this because I feel like a humble brag a bit, but so I was like, oh crap, well I'll have to find a new place to file my taxes next year. Does this go all the way in? I think it does. So I was like, well, the IRS site, I should be able to just do it for free that way. Like I shouldn't have to pay anything just to do it on their site. And I looked it up and I make too much money to do it for free. And I'm like, fine, I guess I'll do it. You know, I guess I'll pay somebody to do it or whatever. Yeah, that's what I thought too. It said 72. And I was like, that seems pretty low, but whatever. Maybe that changed. Oh man, there's these little bitty things under here. Do you have anything that's like... I'm not going to worry about it. It looks like it's mostly covered, so I'm going to do round brick. Yeah, I mean, I could probably just do it manually on mine because it's so easy. I just go to the library and get a form. But I was like, I've been with Credit Karma for a while just to do like credit checks and filings and, or not filings, but monitoring and stuff like that. And they have done it in the past for free. I was like, oh, cool, I'll do that. And then they went, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. I'm like, oh, man, you guys suck. It's gonna be a tooth. In white. And I know I have to order these because I had to order them for the other things. These are gonna be white too. Just need to get used to changing these colors. And then I'm gonna do a brick. What do the back ends look like? Just that, okay. So I'm just gonna do a brick. Easy peasy. Free tax USA. Got it. Thank you. Next year I will do that. Make sure to have my AIG and I'll get it set up. Perfect. Maybe I'll put those on the side. Nope. These close together. Ugh. Nah, that's fine. Like, there's always like the chance of spacing with stuff like this where I'm like, I'm not even gonna worry about it. It has to be slightly more this way. Nope. Okay, and up. I should keep some of this ready for the presentation on Saturday. Just be like, look, this is what I've been working on. You too can waste time with your friends. That looks like it needs to be longer. Let's put another one of these in here. Those are just okay. Are those hollow? Yeah. Back over here. Still not long enough. Nope. Those come in yellow. There we go. A reasonable facsimile. What's up, Frankie? 92220 for back legs. Yeah. Oh man, look at that. Yeah, I think I saw this earlier. I think that was one. And then what color does that come in? That's the important question. Nothing that's useful. Dang it. See, that needs to be gray. Like, it needs to be gray. Pearl dark gray, I guess, can work. But that's perfect. And then I can hinge it. That's a nice part, Frankie. And then for the front legs... 9, 2, 2235. Those may be a bit big because they need to be pretty articulated. I was actually thinking of doing something with, because I think they need to be articulated down to about the last joint here. And I was honestly thinking of doing something with, because these are perfect. I'm going to keep those. Thank you very much. Copyright Frankie. I was thinking of doing something like, honestly, I'm being honest. Where is it? Where is it? Where are the drugs? Oh, this one would be cool. That's kind of smallish. I could probably use that. This is just a cool weapon. I hadn't seen that before. Just this. But I'd have to figure out how to hold it. I thought that would hold it, but it won't. But I could have it be held with some... Trying to think. What part is that? 20252. Yeah, that's also, I mean, that would be, both of these good for the back legs because they've got that kind of hook a little bit. This one, I think I could get away with more being the back leg because it's going to have to be rotated up like about there because it's more straight than anything, but this is still a great piece. I just don't want it to get too curved because I think the front needs to be a little more straight. And I think this is just too wickedly sharped. This one would be okay. But it's got the, like, I like the way it curves, but it's got the connection point on the wrong side. So I'm going to get away with that. Knife. Blade. And now I'm working on the legs. I don't even remember what I was working on before. Frankie comes rumbling in here. All, hey, try this part. Hey, try this. I don't even know what's going on. Try this. Do that. Oh, that'd be great. It's too big. I kid, Frankie. Kid, because I love. Too big. Like, these just gradually get bigger. These Hero Factory weapons are pretty rad. Hero Factory slash... whatever Bionicle was. Bionicle gift with purchase was started yesterday, so if you're all up on that. That's too chunky. See, I could just do like this. And then slope curve like this. And then I could do round plate like this to get a joint up in there. These are a bit more stiff than the other ones, but they still have joints. There's 1, 2, I think there's 3. It's fine, Frankie. Frankie's just mad because I'm not doing his ship. So there's a ship. I'm gonna save this real quick. That is in the Castaway game, which is like a mobile game for Lego. And at the beginning of it, there's this teaser video for the game itself, and there's this great ship. And where did you send that to me? Did you send it in Discord or Instagram? You sent me a bunch of pictures of it. But anyway, Lego Castaway trailer. Is it Castaway? Privacy warning. Yeah, watch here. So it's got this great ship at the beginning of it. Okay, or it doesn't. That Frankie's like, hey, let's build this ship. This doesn't look like it'd be that hard to do. You can advance it frame by frame and kind of get a good look at all the pieces. And so you can kind of tell, like, this obviously is a big canopy that you can get that's actually in purple. These are, you know, certain slopes that you can get, certain wedge plates you can get. This is a certain grouping of, like, panels and slopes that kind of put together. So, I mean, you can kind of, and then it goes into this. And then I think there's more. The ship explodes and falls apart. And you get to see a little bit of it later. So you can see kind of the side. And I have an idea of what these pieces are. And what those pieces are. Not so much what's back here. This is like just snot build stuff because these are all upside down. You can see the break right here. This is upside down curved slopes, or curved slopes that are just upside down. And then, yeah, and then an antenna. So you can kind of gauge like the scale. There's some, that's like two grill plates, right? They're grill tiles. So you can kind of see how big everything is. And say, oh, well, what's that part? If it's that big, what's that part? So this is about as far as I got. Frankie's Castaway ship. So this is as far as I got. So I mean, yeah, it's getting there. What's up, Missy? So yeah, this piece, it's like it doesn't come in the same yellow. But I think that's the way I think that's the way the ship is. Like, it's hard to see. Like, you can blow this up, probably. But it's still not, like, a huge... Like, that's way too blurry. You can't tell what's going on there. I mean, you can tell basic, like, construction, like it's this pod thing on top of, like, some pontoons that go across. And then it just gets blown out of hyperspace. So you can see kind of how it's connected back here. Long workday, apparently, if you're just now getting to us. So you can't tell from here. And it's got this extra flap right here that I'm not really sure what that is. This could also be just like straight up digital tomfoolery. Like, that's obviously a flag, right? That's obviously that piece. This looks like it could be a roof tile. So I just kind of made the decision that this is that being held on like that. So, and this is just like an awesome canopy that comes in purple. So that's about as far as I got. Still probably going to work on it a little bit at some point. But there you go. Don't save. I didn't make any changes. So here we are, Missy. This is what we've been working on, a lance horn. want to keep her there. I just want to move her slightly out of the way because I need the height still. Let's replace all this. So we were just talking about which legs would work for the back here, and Frankie came up with a baller piece of knowledge. I think between him and James, they're like, no, use this. For these back legs, they're using this. I guess, now that I think about it, if it's turned more... What was the other piece? 20252. Yeah. So I guess if it's like that, that's the whole thing. And these could actually be more... No, I still don't think they'd be good for the front. But if that's the whole joint, like if the whole joint's right there, then that's great. This is actually really good. Pearl dark gray. Perfect. So let's just assume that this is the back leg then going forward. Right? And these are only like a quarter. So that's pretty good. Get those kind of spread out a little bit. How far back? Kind of under the tanks. And these are a little farther back. So, yeah. So I think I'm going to do, let's see, nozzle. I think I'm going to do this. Like that. For that bit right there. Make it simple. Make it simple. Make sure it kind of does not come in that part color. Awesome. Does it come in any metal colors? No. Can we do black? Sure. Do black. This has got to be held on better than that though. So this is going to actually probably be held on through here somewhere. And I like, as much as I like this thing, I think I'm gonna have to abandon that just for now, because I do like the swivelly head up here. So I have some, if you need them, have some pictures of the pieces for the Castaway ship. Let's see, what else goes up here? A light. So probably a plate, round plate. That's gonna be trans blue. It's gonna be a fez. What colors do fezzes come in? Please say yellow. They do not. What about droid heads? Truncated cone. That one. And comes in like 3 colors. Okay, well, bollocks. This also needs to attach somehow. Oh, you know what? I'm going to turn to my new favorite part, the round plate with these 2 bars in it. Alright, well, I again lost connection. So, apologize if I dropped. It says I'm still live. Dropped frames. Dropped frames. Dropped frames numbers going down. But I think I may have had a disconnect. So, let me know when I'm back. I'll just keep working. Oh, no. Not you. So I only get these in pearl gold or dark bluish gray. Oh, man. That'd be... I guess I could do pearl gold. I don't think that would look great, though. Yeah, I've had it's my service provider or what, but the last, and I still have, what is this connection right here? I'm gonna check something real quick. Speed test, just to see. I'm also gonna check down detector. Don't have any other things open. That's very sweet, Frankie. That sounds like such a sweet thing to say. You never left for me. I feel like I should be standing in the rain with cards, like, just pretend you're talking to somebody else and I've got this message for you. You've never left. Alright, no AWS stuff. Looks like it's down. This is my uptime. Oh, this is download. This is terrible. That should not be that. Oh, that's god-awful. That should be like 500. I'm on wireless. Why am I on wireless? Well, I'm on wireless because I didn't plug in my stupid connection. That's amazing that I've been able to stream this whole time on wireless. Oof. Oh, rookie mistake. Rookie mistake. It's no surprise then that I've dropped because my wireless router is like 100 feet away. So anyway, it's 10 o'clock. I am going to pretty much call this. Aw, I had done all this just for that. We have to figure out another way to connect those guys. I thought they had to be white. Are they yellow? Maybe they're yellow. Let's do yellow. Alright, well this won't connect to it anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's been stuttering a lot tonight. I apologize, everybody. I didn't have my network connection in place, so that sucks. But we got a lot done. I'm very happy with this. I'll work on it a little more probably this weekend. I may use this as an example of what I'm working on at the library. So if you're in the area, please, if you're in Austin, please consider going to the Austin Public Library starting at noon, and it goes till 3, and it's International Lego Day. If you're outside of the Austin area and you have an International Lego Day thing going on at a store or a museum or a library, there you go. That's happening. So take care, everybody. I will talk to you probably Sunday. I may take Sunday off. I'm not really sure. Saturday's going to be a very busy day, so I might like just chill and whatever. But I'm going to try to get pieces for this guy again. All the nice pieces for the Shell Walker. And yeah. Well, you're a way northy, so I know that. But and you got stuff going on. But otherwise, I will see all of you either Sunday or maybe next Thursday. Have a very good weekend. Have a safe weekend. And I will talk to you later. Bye.